guys, this is Eric Mwade. Now I wanted to revisit a previous pick because I was just going through my scans and I realized that I'd had this as a previous pick going back all the way to April of 2013, and I kind of forgot about this one after it had a nice run. It still continues to be moving high, but what I want to discuss in this video is why I like the stock April, May, even going back to February of 2013. In fact, I was doing a search on my website and you see here that I had the stock as a buy alert for subscribers on February 22nd of 2013, March 4th, and again April 19th. So this was most recent video buy alert for the stock, and I had discussed that stock previously on the site, for the main reason being that the stock was breaking out with the RSI. The RSI was breaking out on the monthly to all-time highs. That's why I kept repeating that stock as a buy. And this video is going to show you how you can make 3 times your money in a stock in about 6 months. And also the MACD was about to make another high and also another crossover on the MACD. So this is what the chart looked like at the time, and like I said, I had previously been issuing buy alerts for this stock around this time period here, over these 2 months here. I like the stock just based on the fact that it was looking like it was about to break out, and you'll also notice that there is a huge, massive cup handle and a breakout potential for the stock. So our buy alert was here, just under $31, and so when the stock moved above $31, which was the previous monthly closing high, going back all the way to since the stock IPO'd in early 2011, so this breakout above this level was a nice trigger point for us to go along the stock. That's why I liked it for subscribers. And if you take a look at what the stock has done since then, we're taking a look now going back. So remember, the previous chart was showing, this is a weekly now, previous chart was showing us looking at the stock April 19th, and since then the stock has gone on to triple in price. And also notice how we had a nice weekly breakout with the RSI moving above 69.10. Again, another reminder that when stocks move above 69.10, this is when you want to buy them and not sell them. Perfect example here is a stock that went above 69.10 here, and most textbooks will tell you to sell. I tell you to buy. The stock has not moved below 69.10 and now trading as high as $95. If you take a look at the current monthly chart, this is how it looked like. Remember, I like the stock because the RSI was breaking out right there on the monthly, so that was my trigger point. I could see this happening. Also, the stock moved above 61.8 on the monthly RSI, and that is a major buy signal. Not surprisingly, we've had this straight monthly gains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight months of gain, good for a quadrupling of the price for the stock. So subscribers had a chance to make a good gain on that, depending on where they got out or if they still continue holding on to the stock. Regardless, this is how you time quality breakouts: when they break out to all-time monthly closing highs, and when the technicals based on the ultimate Mwade breakout are met. So why don't I leave you with the video where I was telling subscribers to buy the stock all the way back to April of 2013. See how I called it before this 3 times your money gain in this stock. So let's go to the video. Peace and blessings. This is Eric Mwade with Mwade.com. It is April the 19th, 2013. We're looking at markets here with about 1 hour to go before the end of the week. Dow down slightly, the Nasdaq up about 1%, and the S&P 500 up about 0.65%. We'll see where the market closes in the next hour. to conclude the week, but it's been predominantly a down week for the market. Now if I take a look at the hourly chart on the S&P 500, what I see here is a chart that I've really been watching, because this hourly chart, you see this low here in November. Once we moved out of that range, which is this area here, this became critical in the market and has been critical in the market over the last 4 months or so, because every time we hit that level, which is here, we had a nice bounce. Okay, we would come back and hit that level here with a double bottom here, and this was a nice entry point there, which was that low. And so now we did this a couple of weeks ago. We hit that level there, which was that level, very nicely, and also went straight to new or all-time highs. And now we seem to be forming a double bottom here on the hourly. So one of two things can happen. Maybe we've already seen the low in the market. Maybe this is a short-term low and this market eventually moves higher, which means that the RSI moves higher here. Or something happens and we, for the first time in many months, we break below that trend. So right now, it seems like the market, to me, based on the chart in front of us, seems like we are having this support on this line, which is good, which is showing signs of a bounce. Also, there's another line. If you take the lows and draw a straight line connecting those lows, you see that the market is exactly at that level. So that's another level of support. So we have multiple support line levels here, support level 1 there, and the second one there. So either way, right now, to me, the market seems to be saying that it wants to move to the upside. If you take a look at the hourly charts, all we need for the market to do is move the RSIs above 0. It's already moved the first indicator above 0 here. So the only thing we are waiting for is a little more upside in the market, and it confirms that now it's ready to bounce to the upside. Now, some of the charts that I'm looking at are the USO daily, and there seems to be a theme here. The USO daily, the last time it made this low here, corresponds to that level on the RSI, that level there. So that was a low. Now every time we've bounced off this line, like here, happens to be a low in the USO. There was another bounce here, that was another low, and now we seem to be trying to recapture that level. So the more the market recaptures that level, the more I'm going to start thinking this market short term is ready to bounce again. So the USO is another one that I'm watching. Really, this one hasn't confirmed that it wants to move higher, but it does need to recapture that level there for us to confirm that it wants to move higher. Now, there are some other charts that show this clearly. If I take a look at the ERY, let's take a look at the ERY. Now notice the ERY as of right now, and I talked about this in my previous video. This level here was a critical level, again confirmed right there on that line, and now we seem to be forming a double top here. Now previously this was a major sell signal on the ERY. It was a sell signal here the last time, and now we seem to be forming a double top. I said we either confirm that double top, which means a sell-off in this instrument and a rally in the market, or this instrument finds a way to break out to the upside, which might suggest something different. And since it hasn't really moved since making that double top, I'm waiting to confirm one way or the other what it wants to do. So a breakout, very strong for this instrument, and a failure to move higher here and confirming that double top. If it moves lower here, confirming that double top there, that is indicative of a market that wants to go higher. So the ERY, that double top, is something I'm really watching to see which way it concludes. If I take a look at another instrument, the TNA, let me start with the TNA. Technology sector here, and this is very nice, shows this very clearly. That level there corresponds to this breakout level here. Once we broke out above that line, let me change colors here. So once we broke out above that red line here, you see that instrument has been on fire. So we moved out of that range And so draw a straight line there. Next time you touch that level, you bounce, which was there. We had a short bounce. And now we seem to be forming a double bottom on this instrument. Now, if that is the case, that suggests to me that this market might be wanting to move higher short term, if that remains the case. Now, the other scenario is if that double bottom here breaks to the downside, then that's a major sell signal. So since we are still on that line on the double bottom on this instrument, I don't know which way the market wants to pick. But so far, I would say maybe the bulls are starting to look like they're going to be controlling this market over a short period of time. Now, if we take a look at the TZA, which is the opposite, and you see again the same thing here. This was a major break point, which corresponds to that break there, and this move to all-time lows. We've worked our way back to this level here, hit that once, and now we are hitting it again. So this could be a serious sell signal for the TZA. We also notice that 40.88 is our line on the sand. If this instrument moves back below 40.88, and especially if it's down 5 to 8% from your purchase price, you want to get out. So right now, that's the line on the sand. It needs to be above 40.88 if this instrument is going to continue moving slowly to the upside. So that double bottom, that double top, and 40.88 are the things we need to be watching for either support or a breakout. Now let's take a look at another way to look at this market, which is a volatility instrument, and we are going to use the SVXY. Now the reason why I want to show you this is because this one has a very interesting chart. Now this gray line connects that low and that low. Now ever since that line was established, you'll notice that it has been bouncing. It bounced off that level once here, which are those lows, and it seems to be bouncing off that line again below and immediately back above. So this could be another short-term low, which means that this thing moves higher, and if it moves higher, the market moves higher. So those are some of the things that I'm looking at to see whether this market is finding support or whether it's going to break down. And if we break down here, then that's going to be the first break in many months. So right now seems to be support area. Also, that area there, that breakout of this line here corresponds to this breakout in price. So this was a nice time to enter this instrument here. And so we draw a straight line, and we see that each time we come back to this level here, we find interesting lows in the stock there, which is that level, again that level, and that, and now we are also close to that level. So this could be short-term low in the stock, and then it moves higher, which means the general market also moves higher. If I take a look at the FAZ, let's take a look at the daily. Now the FAZ daily, you'll notice now it seems like if you take the highs, that high in the RSI and that high in the RSI, seems to me that now we've hit that level. This could be a short-term sell for the FAZ, which is a short-term buy for the FAS. Now it remains to be seen whether we eventually do confirm with that with another move lower, or who knows whether the market comes and in the short period of time ahead of us it breaks out. So I'm not sure. It's something you just have to keep watching to see which way the market is trying to pick. Now let me take a look at the TZA hourly, because this is where personally I was watching to see which way this instrument decides to move. Now let me alright, so this is the hourly chart for the TZA right there, TZA hourly chart. And really what I'm looking at here for direction is, now you'll notice I've drawn two arrows here. So these arrows correspond to that low there, and that which led to a nice move in the TZA. And then I draw a line here, and once we recapture that line, which happens to be this buy point here, and a nice move. So if this market bounces off this line, then the TZA starts moving higher on an hourly basis. But, and this is what I'm watching to confirm whether we need to go long again, is if we break down here, which is below this line, then we want to short this instrument, or we want to go long the general market. I know it's a little bit confusing what I'm trying to say, but in other words, I'm using this line as my line on the sand to see whether we should stay short with our short ETFs or sell them because that could break down. Now, another way to look at this market is take a look at the Nasdaq weekly chart. And from the Nasdaq weekly chart, 3,193 was the line that we had drawn, which was this weekly breakout level. So once this market broke out, that was in March, it has bounced off this line once up to new highs, and now it's back to this level here. Right now trading at about 3,200. So it's going to decide whether it wants to bounce off that line again, or if it breaks down, then that's going to be the first major break, and then that might be suggesting that this market still has downside potential. Now, if the market decides to move higher, these are some of the stocks on my watch list right now, the ones I really like. This is one I really like. We've been trying to own this one, but every time we do so, it fails. If it can break out here above 33 on a weekly level, that's good. But I'll show you at the very tail end why I like this one. Is a very nice look. Now, this one I liked from the monthly chart because, as you can see, it's already breaking out on the monthly chart, and your entry point is, let's call it about $31, but it's actually 30.9. So it's already above that level. Let's see whether I can remove that. And the reason why I like it is because we are very close to a three-year high on the RSI. Price is already breaking out. So if you want to own a stock here with a market that moves higher here, this is a nice one to own. Eric Muade with Muade.com. Good luck, peace, and blessing.